Happening today on the stage. In each of us, there are two natures. It is the curse of mankind that these polar twins should be constantly struggling. You may recognize that famous phrase.
Yeah, that the word's taken directly from the original story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's author, Robert Louis Stevenson. Now we have a chance to see it in a whole new way live on stage. Joining us now is actors Courtney Ah and Colin Burge. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so this is pretty exciting, Jekyll and Hyde coming to New Mexico. This was a huge hit on Broadway. Tell us a little bit about this show, and for those that might be familiar with the old story of Jekyll and Hyde, some of the similarities and some of the differences.
It's actually, I would say it's actually loosely based.
Loosely based.
It has it shares the same name. Otherwise, it's been very grandly reimagined for the stage. In the original novella, there are only 5 characters, and it's very much focused on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's split personality and his duality. But of course, to make it a stage production, you have to have the intrigue and the drama, so they create love interests and family ties and introduce a lot more characters. Sadly, Courtney's character doesn't even exist in the novel.
I'm not even in the book.
Really?
But they create an absolutely beautiful character, not only with the male characters who do exist in the novella, but creating really, really fantastic female leads as well.
Yes. Yeah. Very heavy character plot lines for each of the leading ladies. It's very challenging and great.
And also the music factor in this. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I know, Chad, you were saying we've heard this is very challenging when it comes to that.
I would say it's very different than I think sometimes we as an audience are used to. Large Broadway numbers, big musical things where we kind of split up vocally among a great ensemble. This is a very lead-heavy show where the 3 and 4 of us who kind of have those musical pieces drive that story. Colin barely comes off stage to get a glass of water, and he is singing a lot through the show, so it has been very vocally challenging.
Has this been the hardest show for you as vocalists and actors to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Far and above.
Definitively. There
Far
you
and
go.
above. Far and above, yes.
Yeah. So now we were talking a little bit about MTS. Obviously, they seem to, especially in the last couple seasons, push the envelope with a lot of the shows that they've done. They've chosen to do American Idiot, which is another really sort of progressive musical. But you also are really on the forefront of doing things within the community as well. So these shows that are happening, you donate a portion of proceeds to help out community organizations. Is that right?
We do, absolutely. Okay. MTS really values not only being able to pull from the deep talent pool here in the community, but they really like to give back to the community as well by donating to local charities and nonprofits. MTS actually pairs with a different nonprofit for every single one of their productions.
Really?
And for our production of Jekyll and Hyde, we're pairing with Common Bond, New Mexico. It is it's a nonprofit organization that helps provide financial funding for people living with HIV and AIDS to help with their medical costs and their everyday day-to-day living. And they also have a variety of other programs that help to strengthen and support all at-risk members and all age members of the New Mexico LGBTQ community. Yeah, it's a wonderful organization that's near and dear to a lot of our hearts, and we're very happy to be working with them.
That's huge. So if we want to support the cause and we want to come see you guys, when do you open?
We open next weekend, so October 6th, and we run Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for 3 weekends until October 22nd. And we will be at the African American Performing Arts Center. Obviously, we're with Musical Theater Southwest, but we get to move over into that larger space for this beautiful, dark, romantic musical.
And partly also because we have a full orchestra on this as well,
yes,
which is really exciting.
We have an 11
piece. We don't get that. That's great. So again, guys, if you want more information on Jekyll and Hyde, opening next week with Musical Theater Southwest, just head over to foxnewmexico.com. Guys, break legs. Have a great run of the show.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.